Hello and welcome to another episode of Keep It Moving Podcast. I am your host, Novelty. And as always, I've got with me Mike B.
What it do?
What it do?
Hey, boo-boo.
See, there you go. Now you understand.
What's going on, little lady?
Nothing much. What's going on with you?
Same old, same old. Just out here struggling and surviving. Just looking out of my window.
Is it that hard?
Sometimes it feels like
you watching asphalt grow?
Well, yeah. Thinking how we almost... What is it? I forgot those words. It don't matter. Good time. I used to love that show.
I still love that show. It comes on Antenna TV.
Oh, for those who don't have cable.
For those who don't want cable.
Right on.
I got cable.
That's the same thing.
Yeah,
Sling TV ain't cable.
It's close. It's all the cable I need.
Right on.
And actually, it's too much cable for me because I only watch one channel on there. So.
And what is that?
Hallmark movies and mysteries.
Oh, look at you! You just warming up to your age, just gracefully.
Are you kidding me? You make an old folks joke because I watch Hallmark movies and mysteries.
I feel like you get a certain, just like my grandfather. He loves watching Walker, Texas Ranger.
He can watch Chuck that Norris. On. I think that comes.
I know you know.
No, it's 41-2. I've never watched Walker, Texas Ranger. My little cousin liked it when it was actually on. She was probably 6.
Yeah, but it's Chuck Norris being Chuck Norris. And like you watch it now because when he comes up in town, I'll turn that on for him because I know that's what he wants. Matter of fact, he knows all the channels in Kansas City that show the show. But you see Chuck Norris and he's doing all these moves and it's like, this is so ridiculous, like so far-fetched. And you notice all the stuff that you probably would have noticed as a child. You thinking, oh, he's a badass. But now you see this old slow motion kung fu and these old these stunts. It's like, this is ridiculous. But he enjoys it and we just look past all of that.
Mike B, kiss my, it rhymes with past.
What task? Anyway, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I had family in town.
Right
we
on.
had barbecue and all that good stuff Saturday, and had computer problems Sunday, and Monday I just didn't feel like doing much of nothing. So
now, was it a special occasion that you had family in town, or just people coming to visit?
No, once a year. I have an aunt that is now 102 years old.
Really?
Yes. So once a year, my uncles go up to I'm saying so it's Chicago. Why am I getting confused? They go up to Chicago to see her.
Are you lying? Maybe.
No, because I was about to say Mississippi, and I'm like, that's not it.
That's down.
Right. That's why I said no. It's up. But no, they go to see her in Chicago, and they do it. It's a boys' trip. So it's like every uncle I have on my mother's side of the family, they all go up there. And this year, my great uncle and his son decided to stop here
on the way
between
to Chicago,
on the way there and on the way back.
Okay.
So on the way there, last week, my dad's side of the family was in town just because it was the end of the summer, and my great aunt, or my aunt, always comes in town to pick up my other aunt and take her back. So my dad's side of the family was in town, so I did a family thing with them for my dad's birthday. And then this weekend, my great uncle came back, heading home, and he and his son were in town. So
now I know you were mentioning trying to do like a family tree type situation. Like, which part of the trip was that? Was that your dad's side of the family, or was that your great uncle?
My dad's side of the family came in this morning. My great uncle's side, who goes to see my great aunt, is on my mom's side of the family. And
so the family tree was with who? Which side of the family?
My family tree is with both sides. That's why it's so big.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
My family tree, at this point, I've got a good 700 members in it. And I've gotten back to 1739.
We already talked about you being the keeper of the books.
I am definitely.
I think people are starting to hear why.
You can talk about me being the keeper of the books.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's not an insult.
It is official. My mother finally looked at me and said, you are going to take all of this over. Yeah. I am the keeper of the books.
Right on. Nothing wrong with that. We don't have nobody like that in my family.
Got to know your history.
And you know what I was thinking about over the weekend? Somebody asked a question on social media. It was like, do white people have family reunions? I don't know of a white person that I've been around all my life that has ever mentioned a family reunion. Maybe I don't know if is that a black thing? Like, what do you think?
As from everything I've seen, now I'm sure it might be some white families out there that are a little different and do things a little differently. And more than likely, I'm willing to bet money you're going to find in their history that they are not white. They've got Irish or they got something else in them. But most white people, once they get grown and get married, they take that portion of the Bible that says, leave thy family and cleave to thy wife. They take that
and just forget about the rest of the family.
Right. And they kind of end up separating from their family. Whereas black people, we just don't do that. Hey, leave my mama and cleave to some man that I barely, nope. Well, I'll never leave my mama. No.
Well, I don't know if are you supposed to like forget about them and leave them alone?
Well,
I think
the Bible also says honor thy mother and thy father. So no, I don't think you are. But I mean, a lot of white people I know, like sisters growing up, they were close, and then all of a sudden, well, she lives here and she lives there, and we don't talk to each other, and we see each other maybe once a year for Christmas or something like that. I've never heard of.
Well, but we like me personally, like I don't really deal with my family like that. I still participate in family reunions. But I don't deal with them on like a regular basis.
But even like my dad's side, they do a family reunion. My mom's side, they don't. Now my mom's side is the white side, and so I don't know.
So I feel like you're proving that white people don't do.
I know they get together for Christmas.
Yeah,
maybe Thanksgiving. You know, they have one holiday where they get together, but it's
not an official
the family reunion.
Like all the family come together. No. We learn new family members. We turn up. We have a good time. We go to church on Sunday morning, and we all go home.
Yeah, no, that don't happen.
That don't happen. Understandable.
Interesting thought though. But it is what it is.
Right on.
Every culture is different, and everybody has differences. There's nothing wrong with that. You learn something new, and maybe one day white folks will feel like, oh, we need a family reunion, and maybe one day we'll look at them and see something they do that we need. I just can't think of it right now. Oh, that was so wrong, and I didn't mean to be hurtful, but no. But yeah, I mean, Mexicans do things that we don't do. They do quinceañeras. And
but I feel like that's for like when the girl is turning like 15.
But the whole family
it's
comes.
Like a big
it's
deal.
Like a big deal.
Because it's like them ushering her into womanhood. That's what it
we
looks
do
like.
Sweet 16s. I think
I
Sweet 16s is I honestly think
I
that
don't know too many black people
right,
that do
because
that.
I think that comes from white culture. So sometimes we do Sweet 16s, but even still, it's not the same as a quinceañera.
I can imagine.
So, I mean, and hey, at 15, I would have loved one. Bar mitzvahs. Jewish people do bar mitzvahs for little boys. I know a lot of little boys who would have wanted a bar mitzvah. They just wouldn't have wanted the snip during the bar mitzvah.
Oh, okay. We can move on. Ain't no snip talk. That ain't what I'm here for.
See, scary man. Anyway, so you got a Bay of the Week?
This week, it's going to be another celebrity. I'm giving it to Chance the Rapper. Our Black Achievement and Excellence Award or honoree is Chance the Rapper. And it's because he hosted a social work summit in Chicago to announce that he has raised $2.2 million for Chicago public schools since he started his new Chance Fund back in June. $2.2 million. And then it said that over the next 3 years, he's going to be donating $100,000, I believe, each month to arts and education programs within 20 of the Chicago public schools, 20 schools in the Chicago public school system. Damn.
A little difficult to get that out.
Hey, it was a struggle. Anyway, Chance was saying, funding for public schools is the single most important investment a community can make. And as a parent and proud product of the Chicago public school system, I'm committed to helping Chicago's children have quality learning experiences that includes the arts.
Woohoo!
So shout out to Chance the Rapper. I like when, celebrities, like I always say, are putting their money where their mouth is. But I also like when regular folks are recognized. So I couldn't find anybody this week. So if you guys know of any regular people that are regular black folks that are doing something that should be recognized and honored, feel free to email us. And what's the email address, Novelty?
It is keepitmovingpodcast at
gmail.com.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's
so
not
is it info at
keepitmovingpodcast.com.
I knew it was one of them, and I figured you would know.
You caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Info at keepitmovingpodcast.com.
So you can, recommend somebody, acknowledge somebody, and we will bring them up on the show, because we also want to acknowledge and honor regular people who are just doing regular things that go by the wayside.
Definitely.
It's not just about the celebrities. I think part of us expects celebrities to do certain things, even though they don't.
They should.
And yeah, they should. And this is why when they do what we expect them to do, we, shout them out, because we need to acknowledge them as well, because they don't have to. It's the same thing where we say, celebrities, you should be a role model. You got these kids looking up to you, so you shouldn't do this and that. They are regular people as well. They have regular lives. They just have celebrity status and talent.
And they should use that for something
good. Sometimes they should use it for something good. That's all we're saying.
Well, now that you're talking about celebrities, I'm going to rewind a little bit to the last show. Remember when we were talking about Taylor Swift and the video?
The Video Music Awards. So did you finally get to see the video?
I saw the video.
Wait a minute. Did it have any resemblance to Formation?
No.
I was going to ask you, did you actually see the VMAs?
No, I didn't see them. I just looked for the video.
Okay.
No, it didn't. I mean, that one little lineup scene didn't even turn out to look like Formation after you actually saw the video. However, so she didn't do anything to the Bayhive. So I don't think they, whatever you calling them, I don't think they tweeting about her anymore. However, she was all over Katy Perry and Kim Kardashian.
You bringing up that whole, who do you tell us? Schumer? Did you say Schumer came?
Yes, he the one that educated me on what was going on.
Now you went looking for the beef.
No.
Was it, you could see it in the video?
No, I didn't have to go looking for the beef. Because do you know, after this was like one of the top news stories.
Really?
Yes. They were talking about it on CNN, MSNBC, Entertainment Tonight. Everywhere I went, they was talking about this video, and I'm like, really? Is it that important? And they pointing out all the places where she went after Katy Perry. She went after Kim Kardashian hard.
Well, why would she go after Kim Kardashian? I don't understand that.
Her and Kanye don't get along.
Well, I understand that. But what does this have to do with Kim?
I don't know.
I feel like, ladies should stick together.
I don't know.
Did Kim come at her?
I don't know.
You got to know these things.
All I can tell you is she goes after Kim in that video. She goes after Katy Perry. And then she even, remember I was telling you about the case that she fought against the radio DJ that she feels like sexually harassed her
or assaulted her,
and
or
she
touched
won
her
$1
booty or something.
She's in this bathtub full of gems and stuff, and she got a $1 bill in the bathtub with it. So she don't went after. I mean, she just was like, damn.
So subliminal shots at a lot of people.
Yes, a lot of people. So, but Beyonce was not one of them.
Oh,
so we can move on.
She definitely know better. If it was like official that she came after Beyonce, her career would be over.
No,
I believe her.
No.
Because then, and it would turn. I'm sure it would turn into like a black versus white situation.
Oh yeah, it would get real bad.
Yeah, and very racial.
Let's not, because she didn't, not at all. So I just figured I'd throw that in there since we was talking about. But let's talk about Harvey.
Hurricane Harvey.
They
said it was downgraded to like Tropical Storm Harvey, but it did lots of damage to parts of Texas. I heard parts of Louisiana as well.
We are talking about 60 people. I don't want to say presumed, but at this point, it's 60 people they're saying are dead. And please, I might not have this number right, but I believe it was $200 billion of damage. You see the gas prices are going up if you haven't noticed.
Even here in Kansas City, they're going up.
And they're going to go up until
I paid $2.60. It was before Harvey, it was like $2.20. And so such a drastic change in such a short amount of time.
It's all because of Harvey.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of gas stations down in Texas were running out of gas.
Lines out the wazoo. And then they would run out. And it's going to be like that for a minute until those gas plants get back up and running. We are actually using some special reserve of oil right now that only the government can release. And they were allowed to release so many barrels. So right now, if you ain't got nowhere to go, don't go.
And it's like seeing the images and the video of like just the rising water and people having to deal like it's one thing to like see it on TV. Even for me to see it, I'm like, this is devastating. But for those people who are there, and you may not even believe that it's going to be a real thing, so you don't evacuate or you don't, take the proper precautions. But then when the water starts rising in your house,
right,
and then that's when it gets real.
It gets real, and it gets real fast.
You're driving around thinking, oh, I can get through across the street, and then your car all of a sudden starts to float, and now you're trapped. And you realize the severity of the situation.
Sink.
Yes.
And not float slowly, but float quickly, because these waters were moving fast.
It was sad to see. Our prayers go out to everybody affected by Hurricane Harvey or Tropical Storm Harvey, whatever you want to call it. But the one thing, throughout all of the madness, the craziness, the one thing that it almost brought me to tears to see that, when it was all said and done, you got people of all races, all nationalities, all colors, everything coming together for people. You saw humanity again, especially after this whole Charlottesville situation where we got the president basically siding with Nazis, with neo-Nazis, with white supremacists, and not really understanding that we are trying to fight against the hatred. In that moment, you had people not giving a damn about any of that, just going to save their fellow man. And it was just a beautiful thing. And this is what America is supposed to be about. Yep. And we got a reminder of that during this. It's sad. And we say the same thing when it comes to funerals. It's sad that a family member has to die for you to come together.
For you to get it.
And this is one of those same things. We had this tragedy. People lost their lives, like you just mentioned. But when it was all said and done, people came together for one another. It didn't matter if you was a black person. I saw they were reporting about this black guy who went to help save this white guy who didn't want to leave without his Confederate flag. And he still helped him. And it's like that Confederate flag meant so much to him that he was willing to risk his own life to save it. But the black man was like, I'm going to help you. I still support you.
That's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
We started the month with hate, and we ended the month with a heck of a lot of love.
And it was good. And that's what I like to see. We want to see more of it. And then Trump, of course, was in the news when it came to the situation dealing with Harvey. And I did not care about this guy. Well, clearly I don't care about this guy, period. But I didn't care about the headlines. I didn't care about him going to visit, because what he says, what he does, it was a moment for him to be presidential, I would say that. He could have came there and he could have turned things around and realized that what he's been doing has been nothing but divisive, and what we need right now is unity. That's what could have happened.
That's too right.
That was too much like right. But that's what could have happened. And I feel like he would have garnered a lot of respect from people, because in the face of adversity, when shit hits the fan, when he's needed, he would step up.
Unfortunately, no. He went down there and he gave his same little lovely campaign speech and sat there and everybody kissed his butt, and it was disgusting. But needless to say, it doesn't matter. But what I think, other than the second to the humanity that we saw from Americans on every different plane.
Yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico stepped up.
Offers to step in, send aid, just like they did
with
Katrina.
Hurricane Katrina, yes.
And we are steadily trying to stick in a wall. And they don't think about this wall. They don't think about nothing. They say, we're here to help. And what do you need?
Because they also don't think about this president. They're thinking about the lives and the people of America.
And we thank you, because we don't think about this president either.
Canada also was trying to send aid. And, I was
hearing. They turned Canada down, I
heard initially they tried to turn Mexico down as well. But I think it was the people in Texas, like maybe the governor or the mayor or somebody, was saying, we will take that help. Yes. Because we've got people here in need. It's not about politics. And that's what I don't think the president and some of these Republican leaders, I don't think they understand, that it's not about politics in this moment.
People.
When I don't have a home to go to, when I don't have electricity, when I don't have a pot to piss in, and shit has hit the fan, I don't give a fuck about a Republican. I don't give a fuck about a Democrat. All I care about is protecting my family and having something.
And as a person, when I see someone in need, I can't just ignore them because they are Republican. I would never do that. One lady went to the gas station to pick up a friend of a friend's friend. Some woman she didn't know got stranded. She got a call and she said, look, I got a friend who has a friend. Can you please go help? She said, yeah, I'll go. She goes to the gas station to pick this lady up that she doesn't know from Adam.
Yeah.
And she sees 15 other people there, no place to go, 6 pets. She doesn't know what to do. She says, you know what? Everybody come on. You coming back home with me. She took everybody at that gas station back to her house, and they stayed in her house for 4 or 5 days.
And it just seeing like people posting like, hey, I'm trapped, I'm stranded, and you got people jumping on this, sharing it, trying to get help to
all
whoever.
over the country.
Another beautiful video I saw was coming out of Louisiana, and it was a person recording. It was like 100 trucks all pulling boats headed to Texas in order to help. Like America stepped up and showed us that this is what we're about. Like, fuck all this divisiveness. Like, this is what irritates me, because like I said, it was a moment for the leader
to do something right.
And
kids are out.
He shoots it down every chance he gets.
You got kids out doing their little lemonade stands, and you ask them what they raising money for. Hurricane
Katrina.
Harvey.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, Hurricane Harvey.
You got other, my gym is doing a drive where they collecting stuff until the 6th. Bring in anything you can, and we shipping it down there on the 6th.
Yeah, various churches. I donated to. There was Lee Merritt. He's an attorney. I think you probably see his posts a lot because Sean King shares his videos a lot. But they were doing a donation, and I donated some like diapers and some toothbrushes and stuff like that. And they drove them down, set up, and was handed like it was free for everybody because of course we've already paid for them.
Right.
And it's just like stuff like that when they try to blame Black Lives Matter. Like they were even sharing this post saying that Black Lives Matter were blocking the roads and preventing access for aid relief or something like that. And it was actually a photo that they were using that happened back in 2015 when they were actually protesting for something else. But they were trying to spin this and make Black Lives Matter look like a horrible organization when we're stepping up and we're trying to help.
Everybody's trying to
that's
help.
not what Black Lives Matter does.
That's not what most.
That's not what people do for the most part.
Right. The biggest thing that got me though was the tweets when that lovely orange man stepped down and off the plane to find out what was going on and get his so-called firsthand account, which he needs to look up the definition of firsthand because he wasn't there. But you started seeing tweets
from his supporters,
right, saying, yeah, we see him down there with Harvey, but where was Obama for Hurricane Katrina? On the golf course, and it's like
they kept mentioning that he was on the golf course probably, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like you don't even take a second to think to do the research. It doesn't even matter.
To not even do research. Were you not there?
Well, clearly, no. This is proof that they didn't care about Hurricane Katrina. So
there you go.
They really don't care about
granted,
this.
If they said where was Bush, I'd have said, you know what?
The most controversial thing that happened during that time was when Kanye got up there and said George Bush don't care about black folk. So that should let you know that Bush was the one in office when Hurricane Katrina went down. But you want to find a way to try, just like Trump, find a way to make this about President Obama. No. Find the scapegoat. Blame somebody else.
This is something that unfortunately was unavoidable. We cannot stop a hurricane. We don't have that technology. And it was good to see people just come together, and not just Americans, Mexicans, Canadians, people from all nations, all over this world came together to aid and help. And that's what America used to do. When
that's who we used to be.
Need,
yeah,
we were there and we helped. And I don't like being in a country who's not that way any longer. Yes, the people of this country are still there and ready to help. Unfortunately, the leaders of this country are not.
They're all about building walls instead of building bridges.
So, and now Texas, Louisiana, hang on to your britches because it might be coming again. I pray that Irma don't raise her fury and land on those same places.
Yeah, well, I heard the governor or mayor of a city or town in Florida was letting them know, like, hey, start stocking up, preparing because Irma's coming.
And
we don't know what kind
right
of
now she's
what
a
damage
Category
it's going
5
to do.
hurricane.
So, be prepared. I'm sure as it gets closer and they're able to pinpoint exactly where it's going to make landfall, then maybe they'll start evacuating people. And if they say evacuate, folks, please
Pack your stuff
evacuate.
and leave.
I know there's a lot of situations where you don't have the money, you don't have use social media as your avenue in order to get to safety. It worked during, Hurricane Harvey. It can work during Hurricane Irma.
That's the other thing. We talk so bad about how social media is terrible and it's
social media can be the devil. It can be the devil.
But in this case, social media was beautiful.
This is when it works.
Women in Maine on Facebook helping people get to safety. Somebody stranded and they on the phones calling the police and trying to help.
Sharing addresses, sharing
thing.
This person is stranded here. Because again, we weren't thinking about ourselves in the moment. We were thinking about the safety of other Americans.
It was a beautiful thing. But unfortunately, just like Harvey, we've got to leave Texas and we've got to come back to our lovely government and the Orange Man. So this past week, the UN has condemned Trump and his hate speech toward the media. He said that the UN at this point is having a problem because they're saying that his speech could cause issues outside of the United States.
Yeah.
The way he's talking about the media. So right now they're condemning him in his hate speech.
And the crazy part is the UN is recognizing it as hate speech, but Congress is not. Well, I would say Republicans in Congress are not. They're okay with it. Are they starting to maybe separate themselves a little bit? I don't know.
We'll see. Mueller, now he's over the investigation in Russia.
Special counsel is that what it is?
He's
not a special prosecutor.
No,
it's
he's
like
the special
counsel
to the Attorney General. He has teamed up with New York's Attorney General to go after Paul Manafort. Now, by doing this, Trump can't pardon Paul Manafort. He is not going to charge him. From what it looks like, he's not going to charge on a federal level. He's going to charge on a state level. President cannot pardon on a federal level. On a state level, only a governor can. So the other thing he's done is he's teaming up now with the IRS. So he's teaming up with the IRS right now for Paul Manafort. But, of course, this is the foundation of the ultimate goal.
Which can lead to in other directions.
And you can't hide jack from the IRS. I don't care who you are. The IRS got people who have nothing but all day to sit and go through every single penny you've ever made. So Trump might not want to show us his taxes, but the IRS already got his taxes and they got access to his bank accounts. And every single little bit of anything that goes in America, on American territory and land, as well as access to information from other countries. So unless he's hiding money in countries that don't do business with America, which would cause him a big problem right now, being the president.
I mean, but it still wouldn't surprise me. He would be doing that.
I didn't say I'd be surprised.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Republicans find a way to excuse it. So, that's where we are.
Also, keep your eyes and your ears open for any of the dreamers. Trump is now talking about getting rid of DACA, which, that he said, no, I'm not going to, dreamers are perfect. They're protected. That was his whole campaign. And now he's saying if Congress can't fix it in 6 months, which is probably not likely, DACA is gone.
Did he mention what needs to be fixed about it?
With DACA, they're not citizens. They're still not there. They haven't given them citizenship. And that's because of all the politics involved in it. And so Trump is saying, fix it. Fix what's wrong with it. Get it corrected. And either make them citizens or get them out of the country, one or the other. Now, for those of you who don't know, the dreamers are children that came to this country with their parents illegally. So they weren't born here. They are not actual American citizens, but a lot of them were newborns, 2 years old when they came here. So they don't know nothing but America. The reality is they may not have been born here, but they are 100% American. So they don't have citizenship, though. And because of that, they are considered illegals. And 800,000 dreamers. And it is now 600 businesses that have written a letter to Trump saying, do not get rid of the Dreamers, because if you do that, it's going to crush industries, especially industries like the farming industry,
right? Which are already suffering with the whole crackdown that ICE is doing.
They already suffering. It'll completely kill them. You know, so these businesses are coming together saying, no, tech industries would hurt from this. So many different industries will hurt from this, and this is not going to help America, because then we're going to have. We might have jobs for people, but either people won't be educated enough to take them, or people won't want them. Because I know I don't want to stand out in a ladder and pick an apple all day long. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to tend a farm. I'm not going to do it. So these become that's the problem.
I feel like if civilization changed, I would pick an apple.
I'll pick an apple off my tree if civilization changes.
That's what I'm saying. I won't say that I won't do it, but it's not on my list of things to do. But if the situation arises and I had to,
as long as I got a better job, I'm not picking an apple.
The zombie apocalypse comes and it's time for me to actually farm my own vegetables or whatever and take care of the zombies. I'm going to do it. But even if I would do it for other people. Because I'm looking out for others.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
But now that I know how you feel about it, you ain't getting a damn.
How about you pick the apples? I'll cook them up in a pie.
Okay, you can cook, but it ain't no apple pie. I don't like apple pie.
Well, what you picking apples for?
Hey, it's fruit just to eat.
If you pick,
I'm assuming if we got an apple tree, that's all we got.
Well, okay, then you better eat apple pie.
I don't need a dessert. Anyway.
So, Lenexa Catholic School had a lockdown this week.
Here in Kansas City?
Yes. Well, here in Lenexa.
Okay. Well, they may not know where Lenexa is. Is it
Lenexa,
here in Kansas? Okay.
But the Catholic school had a lockdown this week.
Uh-huh.
This happened after a burglar fell through the ceiling.
Oh.
So
during school hours?
Yes.
Was it a student?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
They can't figure out any other reason why he would have been there, so they just assume he was trying to rob them. Either rob them or rob somebody. They don't know.
Maybe he was cleaning the vents.
He fell through the ceiling.
Okay. Did he have on like his robber outfit?
They didn't say. Can you imagine being in school with the Catholic teacher?
It's just any teacher.
And somebody falls through the
ceiling. No. I can't imagine being anywhere and something comes through the ceiling, because my mind is always zombie apocalypse ready. So that I'm thinking that the shit has hit the fan and now it's time to act. So, my mind is looking around the room for like the closest sharp utensil, because you got to go for the brains or go through the eye in order to take them down, because they fast. Some of them fast. So you got to know these things.
I'm mad you know all that about zombies.
You don't watch The Walking Dead or Z Nation?
No. You know me and horror flicks. I can't watch that kind of stuff.
Hey, this is life. It's coming.
It's coming.
You need to get your shit together.
Post thing.
So now listen. I can't pick apples and take care of the zombies, and all you doing is cooking.
If the zombie apocalypse comes, I'll pick the apples. Okay. For my apple pie.
Right on.
Now let's talk about policemen. They done lost their damn minds. We already knew they lost their minds.
Yeah, because I don't know that they've ever found it. And it's not to say that there are no good police people. So maybe we shouldn't generalize, because there are some that actually do their job, that actually have gone through training and know what to do. But then there are those idiots that came, they were bullied in school, and now they got a badge, they got a gun, and they use it however they want to.
Well, we can already talk about two of them.
Go ahead.
Now, I know everybody already has seen the video where the white woman gets pulled over by the policeman and she's scared. And you hear where she's saying that she's just so scared. She don't know what to do. She don't know what's going to happen because all these people are getting killed. And the man tells her, well, we only shoot black people.
Don't be nervous. We only kill black people, right?
Now, his claim was that he was trying to calm her down.
Why would they? First of all, why would they calm her down?
Come to your mind?
Even if you're being sarcastic or you're trying to make a joke, why would you see? That's maybe he was trying to do that subliminal white to white person talk.
That was just stupid.
It was stupid.
That was
But
beyond.
I mean,
stupid.
it wasn't surprising. This is not surprising. Even if he was making a joke, I can see white people, or especially white police officers, making this kind of joke. Whether they were talking to a black person or a white person, I can still see them making this kind of joke, thinking that it's okay. If it's a white person, it may calm them down. If it's a black person, it may remind them that, hey, we kill black people. And the fact that they decided to, I guess, allow him to resign when they were saying that he was supposed to be getting fired, but I think they allowed him to resign. And people who actually kill black people are allowed back on the job. I feel like I got a problem with that.
I got a problem with all of it.
Well, you should.
All of it.
Because you're black.
I mean, it shouldn't even been a question of it. As soon as they saw the video, it should have been, you don't have a job no more. Period.
But they got to protect their own, though, right? Blue wall of silence. We didn't see that video. What are you talking about?
Then how the hell did it get out?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's my question. How did it get out? Now, somebody did say that maybe the woman who was driving filed a complaint. And that's how it got out. Because I sure would like to know what cop released that video. If it
was a cop, I guarantee you he ain't on the force anymore, because you're going against the blue wall of silence.
Well, the
blue brotherhood.
We need to bring that wall
blue
down.
Lives Matter.
All walls need to come down except the one around my house.
Blue racist. You can't be.
No. Okay, and then there was the cop that I'm calling it assault, who assaulted the nurse.
Oh yeah.
Who wouldn't do the blood draw.
Where was that at?
I don't remember, and I don't have the article
in
front of me. I do apologize. But the cop wanted to draw blood from a perp at the time. There was an accident or car chase, and the man ended up in an accident and had to be rushed to the hospital. So they immediately wanted to draw his blood, which that is very understandable, because they use that to determine whether or not he was drunk, under the influence of anything, find out what really happened so they can charge him, if need be, with a crime.
Well, that part makes sense, I think, but you would usually have like a warrant or a judge, somebody to sign off on it.
Yeah,
to say,
without him being conscious,
he can't
and he not
agree.
being able to give it permission for that,
yeah.
The hospital by law cannot. And that's not by state law, that's federal law. That's part of the HIPAA law. They cannot do that unless he expires. And even then, they can only do so much without approval from the family. So the cop he manhandles this woman and arrests her, this nurse, who tells him, no, you can't do this. She even calls her superior. Her superior is on the phone. Her superior says, no, without a warrant, you cannot have this.
Right.
And he roughs her up, he's got another cop with him.
And arrests her, yeah.
And arrests her. And the cop that was with him didn't do nothing.
Hey, it's that blue brotherhood. So he ain't going to do nothing.
Now,
especially once you see that somebody's recording, I would think, me personally, that's when somebody's watching, you usually are on your best behavior and you try to abide by the rules, especially maybe he didn't know it was wrong. Maybe he was a rookie, the cop that was with him.
Well, here's my question. Black people been screaming about this forever and a day. And
we've had several incidents, several videotaped evidence of this happening.
For the last 5 to 10 years now. Yet, nobody says anything. Oh, it's always an excuse. He was probably on drugs. He was probably getting ready to, oh yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a thug. He had a hoodie on. He was about to do something. All of this bullshit has come up. Now you got 2 little white women that this has happened to. This could have been avoided had you just simply listened when we said the cops were getting out of control. Well, are out of control.
They've been out of control. And this has been happening before camera phones, before video evidence, before all of that. It's been happening. We've been screaming and saying it, and nobody wants to listen, like you said, until it happens to
you and yours,
the white women.
So now it's happening.
That's who they protect.
It's happening to white women.
And they didn't do. To be honest, I mean, not to be shady or whatever, but these women didn't do anything in these videos, from what I could tell. The one woman just got pulled over. I don't know what she got pulled over for, which is why she was nervous, because she evidently was woke enough to know that police aren't always doing their job, and sometimes they're corrupt, and sometimes they kill you. That's the only reason that she would be nervous at getting pulled over. A ticket ain't gonna bend nobody.
I commend her for being woke enough.
Yeah.
To know that and not just think, oh, la 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 la, I'm white, they stop me, whatever.
Yeah, because we've seen white people get pulled over and cuss the cops out. They'll get out, they'll wrestle with the cops or whatever, and still be able to drive away.
Right.
Black people can't even think during that little altercation or situation. We're the ones that's supposed to calm the cop down. It's like, are you kidding me?
Right. It's
I'm
our
supposed
job
to
calm
you down when you're trained to handle this situation.
Oh, you got to understand he's nervous. Well, hell, I'm really nervous. There was one video where the cop stopped a man and the man was getting irrational and the cop had a gun on him and he's saying, calm down, calm down. And the man said, how the hell can I calm down when you got a gun in my face?
Right. I don't think anybody in their right mind can calm down in that situation.
That's the line that everybody needs to see. You may be afraid of what you think is in my car, but I'm terrified of what I know you got in your hand. Right.
It's ridiculous. But this is where we are. I don't see it going or changing at this point, especially with this administration that's trying to push a law and order. And I think he removed a ban on, I guess, police officers getting militarized weapons.
Yep, they getting ready to get military
vehicles.
Weapons. They in some states they got the right to search without a warrant.
Without a warrant.
I mean, this is getting downright ridiculous.
And then with the fact that they can seize some of your property and then not give it back.
Not only that, and find out you weren't the one.
Yeah, and they don't have to give it back.
Don't have to give it back.
Nothing about that makes sense.
Nothing about that is legal or constitutional.
But hey, you see what's happening. This is the dumbest administration ever. You know what? You thought that the Bush administration was dumb. You thought.
Right. I mean, I would love to have W in office right now.
And that's sad.
You know, all of those posters of Obama and those memes of Obama, how you like me now, they need to put one of them of George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Because I really like him now.
He would get some support right now.
Oh, yeah. He getting all kind of support right now.
And he went under the radar for 8 years. We didn't hear shit from him
he left
the entire time that President Obama was in office.
Didn't hear nothing.
I forgot all about him. But then when this idiot started to surface, he's like,
you
know what?
He wasn't so
he
bad.
Said, that's even dumb to me. So he did. That's why he decided to come out of the woodworks and remind us that he's still alive.
Let's move to something a lot less orange and blue and on to friendship. You got friends, right?
Yes, I do have a few friends.
Okay, and those that you call friends, you trust them, right?
Trust them to what?
Well, you trust them to go out with them and hang out and have drinks.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think that requires trust.
You know, well, you trust them in your house?
Yes.
Okay. You trust them in your house when you're not there?
No.
That's hurtful.
No, I don't usually have anybody in my house when I'm not here.
Okay. Well, some people and people I'll consider friend, I would trust in my house when I'm not there.
Yes, you've given me your keys.
Yeah, because I know you ain't gonna do nothing in my house.
Right, and if I do something, then you know I could fix it or whatever. So
well, and I got cameras too, so I'm gonna get you doing it anyway. However, there's a woman, and I mean it's not about her friend being in her house. She went partying with her girlfriend. You know, they went out to some party and they was drinking and one of them got drunk. Really, really, really drunk. But anyway, they got to fighting.
I've never understood how a person can do that.
Neither.
Be outside the house and then just get shit-faced and not. Well, I know you don't drink.
How a person can drink.
Yeah, well, I mean, drinking is not the issue, but I feel like you still have to maintain some sense of what the hell is going on, especially when you're not at your own place, because you never know what's going to happen, what kind of situation you're going to get in, and you need to be alert enough to make sure you make it home. And so it irritates me about people. I
definitely agree.
Because I have some friends that, well, not really, I won't even say friends. I have some people that I know, associates, that will drink. One of my coworkers, I think I talked about it on a previous show, maybe not this one, but I talked about it before, that we're at the baseball game with coworkers. And we tailgated or whatever. Before we got into the game, he had at least 19 beers.
Jesus.
And we got there maybe an hour and a half before the game. 19. And so by the time we got in the game, he was shit-faced. Like, I don't want to be that way around coworkers. And then I'm not at home, and the game just started. We still got you know how long a fucking baseball game can be?
I went to a Royals game with coworkers, and one of them got so drunk, they literally laid down. And the ramps going up, they go in a circle.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He laid down and rolled all the way down. And all I could think of is never again.
I say the same. I say the same thing. Never again. But I'm sorry. Go back.
Anyway, this woman went with her friend, and they was drinking. Well, they got to fighting over a man. They had a discussion over a man. Well, I guess a fight.
Uh-huh.
And her friend got so drunk that, like I said, she passed out. So the other girl, I guess because she's mad about this argument over this man, talks some of the guys to raping her. Talks him into raping her.
Talks him into raping her friend. So-called friend.
Her so-called friend who is now passed out.
Uh-huh.
And she posted on Snapchat. What the hell? And this was a black woman. So what I want to know is what the hell's wrong with us? That this could even dawn on somebody you call friend.
That's not your friend, first of all.
Evidently.
That's not your friend. Because I don't think any friend would intentionally put you in danger, whether you guys are having an altercation, a situation, a disagreement or not. I'm not going to do anything that's going to put you in jeopardy. Even if we're angry at each other and it gets to the point where, like, I realize that you drunk as shit and you're at my house, I'm not going to send you out, to drive home like this. Because you being intoxicated, first of all, and then angry on top of it, I don't want that on my conscience if anything happens to you on your way home. That's what a friend is. And so the fact that you would actually invite people to come in and violate, assault, sexually assault somebody you call your friend, record it for other people to see, ain't shit about that friendly. That's not a friendship. She's an asshole. And hopefully she got in trouble.
She's in jail.
Good, because that's what she deserves. That's bullshit. A friend? That's not a friend. That's not even a associate or an acquaintance. I wouldn't do that to anybody.
That's an enemy.
Sexually assaulting somebody, like getting people, hey, come rape this chick.
And not just one person.
Yeah, that's what. It doesn't even matter if it was one person.
No, I get that, but the fact that it was more than one makes it even worse. I mean, it's horrible no matter what, but it's just like, what?
I don't even care if their profession they were strippers, and every now and then they would bring guys home and have group sex together. It still doesn't matter because you knew that she was unconscious and unable to give consent to this bullshit you trying to put her through. That's not cool. This is not a friend.
And these are the things we have to teach our children to watch out for. Learning how to pick a friend.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of fake friends out there. A lot of people, they
will
put on the mask. They'll put on the mask real quick, fast, and in a hurry. But when it comes down to it, when you actually need them, when it's an emergency, a situation where you don't have anybody else to turn to, is that friend going to be there? And then when you get into an argument, is that friend going to enlist people to rape you?
You shouldn't even have to think about that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That never even crossed my mind. You know what? You an asshole. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Bubba and Big Joe or whatever to rape you. I would have never that just, you know what? Because just maybe like I'm just not that type of person.
The little girl at
the hot water
party.
Challenge.
It's like we got to figure out how to teach. I mean, this is something we have to do. Teach our children how to pick their friends. But, these were two grown women at this point. So
nothing about this sounds like two grown women. Maybe the one who was unconscious and got assaulted, maybe she was grown. But the other one, this is a childish move.
Well, my heart definitely goes out to the woman that was raped.
That's ridiculous.
It should have never happened. I mean, even as my enemy, I wouldn't have done that. Even if I didn't
That's just not something a normal person thinks to do. Get this person raped. Nobody does that. Well, maybe it sound like they do.
Yeah.
But
one person does it.
Yeah, that's stupid. Can I lighten it up just a little bit?
Go right
And this
ahead.
is, I just want to know what you would do, especially with you just getting out of school. I'm sure you had to go. Maybe I don't say I'm sure because you might be balling. I don't know about it, but a lot of us who go to college have to deal with financial aid or whatever.
Paying that
Loans,
dang on
grants.
check back.
Well, there was a young lady, a university student in South Africa, who discovered an erroneous deposit. It's time to get your loan check, your refund check, they call it, of $1 million into her account. They put it on her little debit card. And it was supposed to be $100 for books and supplies. I'm like, $100? Like, I need to go to school over there because if books only costing less than $100, then we might be cool. Books is like at least $1,000.
Yeah.
That's why we got to get
even digital books.
You got to find them online in order to save because one book could cost you $300, $600.
Yes.
But then you get that lovely notification that you got to deposit, and it says 1,000,000.
And your first thought is, am I reading that right?
Maybe. And your second thought might be, turn up. Because they said by the time they discovered what had happened,
buy a house.
Would you?
No.
Okay, but by the time they discovered it, I think she had spent like $60,000.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem. I remember when I first got my new position, it was like 8 years ago. I went from being hourly to salary, and I got my first check as a salary person, and it had like an additional $2,500 on my check, and I'm like, no, I said this that okie doke. They on that bullshit and they trying to get me to spend this money and they gonna try to fire me or whatever. So I called payroll like, hey, you need to look into this. I ain't got time for the bullshit. So see what's going on. But the way they do their calculations, she's like, no, that's all you. It's right. And I'm like, I even waited an additional week for her to think about it, for her to do some additional research before I actually delved because. I'm like, I already had a raise, so I already had like some extra money coming. But then $2,500 on top of that, like something don't seem right. But hey, I gave y'all a week. I let you know. So now it's on you.
Now it's on you. See, well, I remember working when I lived in Atlanta. I worked for Channel. It was Channel 5. It was a CBS station down there. Might have been Channel 6 in Atlanta, and it was owned by Meredith. When I left Atlanta, I closed my bank account. I stopped working for Meredith, came here, and went and worked for a different company. Ultimately, that company sold to Meredith. So that was Channel 62. They sold to Meredith, and when they did the merger, they had us fill out all new paperwork, direct deposit and all that, and I filled out all my paperwork like I was supposed to. But they sent my first check to my Atlanta bank, which I didn't have an account with that bank any longer. I'd been gone from Atlanta for over a year at that point.
How did they even get that information when you had to fill out new paperwork?
Meredith. It was still all on file, and somebody didn't do their job. Somebody messed up. So when my check didn't come, I called them and I was like, hey, what did you do? Mail my check? And the lady said, no, we sent it. I'm like, there's no money in my account. And so she went in and she looked and she's, oh, well, we got to figure out what happened. At first she said, it's going to be 2 weeks before you get a check. And I said, no, it ain't. I got bills to pay. You gonna have to put a check
you gonna
in my
figure it out.
You better do something. Yeah. So finally they went on and put a check, deposited my check in the right bank. And she says, okay, well, if that money comes to you, you're going to have to give it back. And if you don't give it back to us, we're going to take it out of your next check. You did something wrong. I said, look, lady, I'm going to tell you this one time and one time only. I'm not doing nothing. You made a mistake. I didn't. You try taking that money, try not paying me, and you try taking that money from me, I will have you in court before you can say boo. And I'm not joking. The next person you will talk to is my lawyer. Now, I didn't have a lawyer at that time. I was just talking outside of my head.
You sounded like you had a lawyer.
I'd have had one. I'd have gotten one.
On speed dial.
Messing with me. You don't mess with my money. Especially when I work hard for you. Don't mess with my money.
Yeah.
So she got off the phone. And then as soon as I got off the phone with her, I called the bank I banked with Wachovia in Atlanta. And the lady said, we've been waiting on you to call us. We got some money here. We don't know what to do with this, and we don't know where you live. I was like, thank you. So I just told her, I asked her, can you send it back? And she said no, because it's got your name on it. It was direct deposited in for you. We can't give this to nobody but you. Even the company can't call and take this money back. So I said, okay, just go ahead and send it to me. So she wrote a check and sent it to me. And then after I made them wait 2 weeks after I got my second check. And then I called them and I said, look, I got your money. What you want me to do with this check? And so I ended up just giving it to the HR rep in my office.
Okay.
But it was just, they were so nasty about it. So if $1 million fell into my bank account, I think I'll take a picture of it. I might go pull it out in cash and roll around in it and then put it back. But I would not spend it.
Right.
Because I know when they figure out their mistake, they're going to say, well, why didn't you mention this to us? And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So,
and you know how they found out about it? Another student noticed that this one was spending all this money and living lavish and told.
Just why you in somebody else's business?
Hating. Just because they can't do what you doing, so they gonna tell on your ass. Like something ain't right. You usually eating ramen noodles, all of a sudden you got steak and caviar. We ain't got time for this. Driving a Bentley.
That's why when it happens, you don't say nothing. You just let it sit there for a little while. You spend a little bit here, a little bit there. Don't change your habits.
Keep eating your ramen noodles. Add a little, maybe go to tuna fish with it. Maybe then go to chicken with it.
Or say, hey, I'm going home to my mom's this weekend and for meals, and my mama bought me steak. She bought me this. But learn, you got to do that slow, and then once you know it's yours, you good. But I got one more thing.
Yeah.
Since we talking about students, did you hear about the women in Walmart? It's always a Walmart store.
I think I saw a video. It was like, was it a back to school type of sale or something like that? Yes.
The last notebook. How much a notebook costs at Walmart?
Like 10 cents, 50 cents.
Definitely no more than $1.
Right.
4 women in Walmart fighting
over a notebook.
And one of them pulled out a gun.
I saw the lady pull out a gun. I'm like, is it that serious? A notebook.
You can come to my house. I got a whole bunch of them. I give you one.
Yeah, bring some notebooks next time you come. Matter of fact. But no, it's never that serious. I think maybe she was trying to prove a point that we had a place where we can carry our guns or whatever. You never know who you get into an altercation with. So be ye always ready. Ain't that what the Bible says?
Well, what makes it so bad is they range from age 50 to age 20, or should I say 20 to 50?
20 to 50.
That don't make no dang sense.
It don't make no mind because it's a notebook and you pulling out a gun, threatening somebody's life.
And it's Walmarts everywhere.
And you know what? When Walmart don't got it, you can go to Dollar Tree, you can go to Target, you can go to Kmart if you got a Kmart.
They don't have it next week. Just use some loose leaf paper until.
And a lot of times the teacher will give you student supplies until you get your shit together.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Maybe next time don't wait for the last minute.
Do we know that anything happened to this lady who pulled the gun out? Was she charged?
I haven't heard anything further. But Walmart, a notebook.
Ridiculous.
So anyway, our poll question for the day is: what would you do if you found $1 million in your bank account?
I know most of y'all are gonna say, "Hey, it was your mistake and my blessing. Thank you, Jesus. I'm spending this money." But we have to remember they're gonna probably find out and make you pay it back. And it ain't easy to just
will make
you come up with $1 million. It ain't that easy.
No,
if it was easy, I think I would probably have it right now. Amazon would be getting a little bit more money from me.
Once it's spent, then you can't get that same back. You can't buy a car and then take it back for the same price.
No.
It just don't work.
Depreciation.
Anyway, so that's our show for tonight. Thank you for listening and have a good one.
Peace.